What's going on? I'm John from 16 Views, and today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to how to really up that Instagram game and get those nice likes that everyone wants. So, I'm a teen. I'm probably going to title this video something about up your Instagram, teen to teens. I don't know, something like that. So, if you clicked on it, you're probably a teen, so hi. What's going on? I'm John. I'm 16. So let's get that Instagram game going. I just made my intro this morning, and so I'm gonna roll it now, but tell me if you like it. Okay, ready? Go. So I know a lot of those up your Instagram game videos are just do this in Lightroom, or you make sure you use a 50mm lens because this provides the most natural look for portraits and provides the best background blur or bokeh. But we're teens. We can't afford Lightroom. Most of us do not have our own camera. This I'm using right now is my parents' that they use for mine and my brother's sports stuff. It's not even mine. I'm just lucky enough and grateful enough to have the ability to use it. But most people don't have stuff like that, so what they're going to be using is free apps and their phone to take pictures. And so in this video, if you've seen any screen recordings or anything like that of editing pictures or that kind of stuff, it's from the app VSCO. Yes, everyone knows VSCO. Besides being a whole social media platform, VSCO is actually a great photo editor that I personally use a lot for editing pictures on my Instagram. So if you see that, know that I'm editing on VSCO, but all of these tricks aren't VSCO specific. So you'll be able to do this on whatever photo editing app you use. So my very first tip is cropping your photos properly. By this point, you've probably heard that the Instagram aspect ratio is 4:5. And what this 4:5 aspect ratio is it gives you the largest possible size of picture that you can have on an Instagram feed. And so you may be asking why do I care about this? Well, non-scientifically, just think about it. If you have a 4:5 image, and that's the biggest image you can have on Instagram, that means that when someone's scrolling through Instagram, your picture being 4:5 is going to take up the largest amount of space on their feed. And since it takes more surface area on the feed, they're looking at it for longer, they have more time to, enjoy your beautiful face or your beautiful portrait or whatever you're posting. It gives them more time to appreciate it and will therefore make them more likely to, double tap it. Again, not scientific, but that's kind of the thought behind it. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Is kind of what everyone says. So yeah, 4:5. So what you're going to do is just go into your photo editor, click that 4:5, and then it'll stretch it out to be a nice 4:5. And there, now you have a nice 4:5 picture that you can post on Instagram. Also, usually the default for Instagram is just a 1:1 square, and personally, I hate that. I hate the look of just 1:1 pictures. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like that kind of looks kind of old and inexperienced if you just kind of have a 1:1 picture in a feed. And it's small, so you're not getting as much surface area on someone's feed. So yeah, just do 4:5. It just makes the most sense. The second tip I have is edit your photos so they're nice and bright. I cannot tell you how many times I go through my Instagram feed and people post pictures that are way underexposed. So underexposed. And it's dude, I can't even see your face. Why would I want to like this? I don't even know what you're taking a picture of. I don't know who these people are because I can't see any of your faces because it's so underexposed. Make sure you expose your image. Just go into your editor, go into VSCO, and then go to that exposure icon, and then just drag up that exposure. Just a little bit, not too much. Or, if that's too much and it blows out your background, then go into the tones, and then just drag up your shadows, because that'll brighten only the darker part of your images, and if it's underexposed, then it most likely means your face is underexposed, and so you just want to expose for your face but leave the background intact. Don't underexpose your images. Make it nice and bright. People are more likely to stop, enjoy, appreciate your image if it's nice and bright and stands out, rather than if it's all dark and they have to actually like look and see who is that, oh who is that, who is that, if it's a group picture or something like that. So just expose your images right. My third tip is just don't go too heavy on the artificial beauty stuff. One reason for it is it just kind of makes your whole picture look fake, because it makes your skin look super unnatural, and it just personally doesn't really look very good, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. And the second, much more important part of not using a crazy amount of artificial beauty is, girls, you're beautiful. Guys, you're so handsome. Don't be covering up your look with some artificial beauty mode enhancer. Everyone is special. Everyone has a unique look, and don't try to cover that up. Go to the world. Say, this is me. This is me. Don't cover it up with snap filters or a ton of skin brushing. You know, a little bit is fine. You know, cover up a blemish here, cover up a blemish there, but don't just go completely over your face and Facetune and make yourself look like a wax figure. It doesn't look good, and people then know that you're kind of insecure about yourself and that kind of stuff. Your true self is beautiful, so don't cover that up. Okay, so this next tip isn't as important, but if you do it, this can up your gram quality so much. I cannot emphasize how good this looks when people do it and do it right. And that is adding the same filter to all of your photos and having a reoccurring theme, like always having something yellow, always having something blue in your pictures. Individually, this isn't going to make a huge difference because people are only going to see, you know, one post at a time when you post them and they see it in your feed. But if someone was to go to your profile and all of your pictures have the same filter and a similar color theme, or a similar just theme in general, it just makes it look so good and so professional. But I know this is really tough because you have to find a filter, decide that you like it, and then stick with it for, you know, however long. And so I know that's a big commitment, and I know I have trouble with this because I find a filter I like, I post 2 pictures, and then I find a filter I like better, and it's like, well, now I have to restart my whole feed and stuff like that. So this isn't a huge deal, but if you do it right, it looks great. And, you know, small flex of the day. You know the TikToker Sissy Sheridan? Kind of know her, sort of. I did some shows with her. We were pretty good friends. Amazing person. So funny. Don't know why she gets all the hate. But anyway, at some point with her Instagram feed, she was doing this. She had the same filter, and she had a yellow reoccurring theme. And, I mean, just look for yourself. Like, look. It looks so good. It looks so professional, and it's just so aesthetic and pleasing to the eye. Again, not the most important thing because it only really matters when people are on your profile, but, I mean, it looks really good. Okay, my next tip is, for the love of God, have your horizon straight. I cannot tell you how often I go through my feed and see 1, underexposed pictures, and then 2, horizons that look like this or look like this. It just ruins the picture because you're not focused on whatever you have a picture of. You're focused on that your horizon is like slanted downwards, and it's like, no, that's not how pictures are supposed to be. And this is probably the easiest thing you can do. You just open VSCO, you go into crop, and then you just move the little tilty thing either direction, and to make it, you know, even. Keep your horizon straight. I don't want to see any of this. No, please don't. Okay, and the very last tip I have for you is always send the picture or series of pictures that you're going to post to a friend or multiple friends before you post it. That you want to get some feedback because they may be like, oh, I don't quite like this filter, or maybe make it a little warmer, a little cooler, or expose your face just a little bit more, you're a tad dark. So always check with a friend. And if it's a really close friend, they could be like, dude, that's not a great picture of you. And you could be like, oh, okay. And then, you know, send some other pictures that were taken on the same day, you know, from slightly different angles or just slightly different smiles or anything like that. And a picture that you maybe thought wasn't a great picture of you, they could be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because often you see yourself in a more negative light than other people do. And so a picture that may not seem good to you actually may be a great picture. And asking your friends to help you with that will help quite a bit. Finally, these aren't really tips, these are just more like pet peeves I have. First one, don't go overboard with the tanning. Like, make yourself look tan, but don't make yourself look brown or orange. Because we all know who the orange dude is. And so that just goes back to sending it to your friends before you post it. Just make sure, because that's another thing that they could critique you on. Be like, yeah, that doesn't look natural. Like, don't post that. It just doesn't look good. Because you want to be tan, have a nice golden if you're into that sort of thing. But you could go overboard with it very quickly and then it just looks bad. The second pet peeve I have is I would recommend not captioning your photos. Insert caption here. It's just, please. I don't know why that bothers me. Just not a huge fan of when people post that, because it kind of is like you didn't even put the effort in to think of a caption. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And maybe you can implement one or two of these tips in your next Instagram post, and I wish you luck getting all those likes and everything. If you want to see a part 2 of this video, or maybe like a how to take the perfect Instagram shot, something like that, just drop it in the comments. I always read them because I only get like 4 comments a video if I'm lucky. So I always read the comments. Any questions or concerns, drop them in the comments. If you liked the video, think about subscribing. It really means a lot to me. Give the video a like. I think that's the whole YouTube spiel. Thank you for watching this video to the end if you got here. This is drawn from 16 views. See ya.